Hi everyone, I'm Paige Abbott and this is your weekly recovery message. I keep seeing quotes related to living in the past, living in the future, and living in the present. And specifically the message that I keep seeing is a reminder that if we are living in the future, meaning that if our brains are taking us to thoughts of the what ifs, what's going to happen, how are things going to be, that often we'll be living with a sense of fear and anxiety. If we're living in the past, we're often plagued by thoughts of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Did I do enough? Did I handle that properly? Was that the right thing to do? And the resultant feeling that comes is often a feeling of depression. Sometimes even when we're living in the present, we may not always be in a state of peacefulness and contentment and serenity, although we often will be. However, if we are experiencing a lot of anger, then that's your clue that we're still living in the realm of expectations and control. So we are wanting things to be different than they are, and hence there's this resultant anger because our reality versus what we perceive should be our reality are in conflict, and the space in between those things creates anger. Are we always going to be able to live in the present? No. And what does that even mean? What does that look like? What does that feel like? I think that's an experience that each of us needs to keep trying for and practicing on our own. However, some tips that I can give is if you are feeling a sense of acceptance, peace, and serenity, then that is a clue that you are being quite present and quite mindful and grounded in this moment. Because you will find that even if there's challenge and difficulty and stress in your life, if we are truly living in this moment, then nothing actually seems that bad. So we may have little bits of that anxiety or that fear or some sadness or loss or even anger, but it will never be that overwhelming, it will never be that predominant, and it will always be mixed in with that peace and that acceptance because we are accepting that this is our reality right now. If I take my own reality right at this moment, I'm creating this video, there's a sense of acceptance, peace, and grounding in that moment, and even though I may have other things happening in my life, those things aren't happening to me right now, so I don't need to live in that reality. So it's a matter of practicing living with multiple feelings at the same time as we're starting to learn to practice living in the here and the now. And it is important to remember that we can experience feelings such as peace or serenity even at the same time as we're experiencing feelings of anger or anxiety or depression. These aren't conflicting feelings, these are all part of the feeling spectrum, and they're all okay. So part of living in the moment is that practicing and accepting that all feelings are part of our reality, and we can hold multiple feelings at the same time, even if they feel like they should be competing feelings. There's no such thing. We can truly be happy as well as sad, even at the same time. So again, part of living in the moment is learning to practice and accept that and start to work with that reality, that it's okay to have multiple feelings at the same moment. And within that, there can be a basis of acceptance. Other tools for living in the moment are practices such as meditation, mindfulness, so actually connecting to our five senses and grounding ourselves in the here and the now. We can use our internal dialogue or self-talk to bring us back to the present. We can keep reminding ourselves, I am here, this is what's happening now. We can coach ourselves through whatever's happening in the present moment. Deep breathing is another way to ground ourselves in the moment. Again, focusing on that basic necessity of breath just helps to clear out some of the noise around us. Journaling can help us to focus on the here and the now by tuning inwards, focusing on our feelings, focusing what's happening in our bodies in this moment. So there's lots of different ways to practice being in the moment, but a big one is related to the feelings. I wish you the best in your ongoing journey of recovery for the week. Bye for now.